This is Red Light, Green Light 123 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Red Light, Green Light 123 with D and Z. I am Z, and we're going to do this quick and dirty for week 4. We have 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and 1, 2, 3 fantasy sits or red lights. Who are your red lights for this week, D?
Well, this week I'm sitting Dalvin Cook. His shoulder's in pretty bad shape, so even if he plays, the chance of it popping out again is very high. Number 2, I'm actually going to sit Deontay Johnson against the Jets. Sauce Gardner is shutting me up. He seems to be legit. And the last one is Miles Sanders against the Jags. The Jags have been shutting running backs down the last couple of weeks, so I will not be starting Miles Sanders. And for starts, I'm going with Geno Smith against the Lions. He's going to start for my fantasy team this week. I love Travis Kelce playing against the Bucs. And my last one is a guy that no one's been trusting lately, but I think he's going to have a big game on Monday Night Football. I'm going with Cam Akers against the 49ers. What do you got, Z?
That is bold. That is quite bold. That's bold. That's you right there. That's you and distilled into it. It's a bold pick. All right. So, my 3 sits. My 3 red lights. I'm going to go and sit Jameis Winston against the Vikings in London. Dude is just beat up, completely not ready for prime time. I am also gonna sit Justin Herbert against the Texans because I don't know if he's gonna play or not. And based on what we saw, it's not great shakes. The Chargers are still gonna win, but I don't feel comfortable keeping him as my QB1. And last but not least, I am sitting Zach Wilson against the Steelers.
That guy.
Absolutely not a good start. First game back, you want to ease into things, and you get the Steelers D. Like, that's not a great place for Zach Wilson to start. So, not a great place for him at all. My green lights for this week, James Robinson against the Eagles. This man just runs the rock. It's what he does. I think that James Robinson is going to have an awesome day against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Jaguars are going to upset said Eagles. Absolutely. My second is Allen Lazard. I think this is finally the game where they break out and the wide receivers, the new guys, right? The guys that Aaron Rodgers has been having trouble trusting. I think they are finally going to get their time to shine because the Patriots are not any good. They're just not any good right now. And last but not least, I'm going to go with Mecole Hardman for the Chiefs. I think he's going to have a pretty good game in the kick return game as well as in the receiving game against the Bucs. The Bucs did not look great defensively against the Packers. Nobody looked great in that game, frankly. So, think outside the box. Let's go with Mecole Hardman. Let's get a
Mecole.
Solid whiteout 2 or flex option this week. But those are ours. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in those DMs at FadeRoutePodcast on IG, or drop us a line on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ. But for now, it's time for us to run the go route again. We'll talk to you next week, and let's see how you do. Want to get on the action, we want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd. Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.